The METUS Tech Show.
Welcome to the METUS Tech Show, a show for HVAC professionals by HVAC professionals.
The METUS Tech Show.
With Dorsey.
I love Neapolitan.
I can't do Neapolitan.
You can't. Why?
I gotta have one flavor. I gotta stick
That's
with it.
it?
I can have stuff in it, but
Okay.
I can't split it three ways.
All right.
Just can't do it.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
anybody
I'm
chime
boring.
in?
I just like vanilla.
That's it.
Yeah. I only have one kind of pizza, one kind of ice cream, but I do add some stuff to it once in a while.
All right. And let's say you.
I'm with Mr. Dorsey. The chocolate overpowers the vanilla and the strawberry, and it tastes really weird. I prefer Rocky Road.
Oh, you're a whole bunch
Butter,
of wimps.
yeah. Butter pecan, Rocky Road, those are my two.
Just think about it. You're getting 3 tastes, 3 flavors in Neapolitan.
It's just
3 for
Okay.
1, though,
Like
right?
3 for 1.
Yeah.
You got it.
What do you mix Pepsi and Coke and RC together? I mean,
No,
it's just
but that's
different
different. That's different. Don't
Coke
mess
and,
my
No, it'd
style.
be Coke and Sprite and root beer.
things. Oh, that'd be worse.
there you go.
That'd be terrible.
That's probably more Neapolitan soda. Yeah.
So welcome to the METUS podcast, METUS Tech Show. With today, we have the pleasure of having Dwain Barcklay, Shawn Dorsey, and Shawn Tauss. Sure. Shawn Dorsey, tell us about what you do.
I am a tech support person for Applied Product Solutions out of Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm a member of the DSG program, Diamond Service Group.
And that's why you're here now.
That's why I'm here. We're here learning things about all things technical.
All right. So how would your customers contact you?
The easiest way is to get a hold of us at our website. It's www.apsrep.com, apsrep.com.
So there you have it. And that way they'll find you there.
Yeah,
and I'm
there's
sure
just
they can reach you some way.
Their phone numbers on there, emails, things like that.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Shawn.
Right. Thank you.
All right. So this is going to be a powerhouse. So I've got 3 guys with a much bigger brain than I do. So we'll see how this goes. But the topic is going to be data collection through the USB port on the R2 series unit. So, gentlemen, whoever wants to take off with it, just let us know how does that process work?
So just to start out, they'll be at the end generation, right? It's the newer product that has come out here in the last couple of years. And that was something that our boards have always been able to store data on the boards. And that data was usually retrievable through a computer running maintenance tool software. So that was an improvement that was made saying, okay, if that data is available and we don't use maintenance tool, what other options do we have? If that's on the board, what can we do to extract that out of there?
So it's the same data that you would see or record through maintenance tool.
Yeah, it's a maintenance tool file that you're actually downloading out of that board. So it's made it convenient that you can just plug in that thumb drive. It's just a little USB thumb drive that they use to plug it in, and you can download data out of that.
So walk me through the process. I've got a blank USB drive, flash drive, and I plug it in. It's all I got to do is just plug it in.
Well, there's a couple things. You got to make sure. I don't think it works while the system's running.
Okay.
So, and if these are R2 and Y series city multi, you'll want to send a stop command, make sure the units aren't running, but still powered up, and then go to the OC if it's a twin system.
Okay.
If you try this on the OS, you're not going to get any data or errors out.
So, Shawn, what would qualify the OC as the OC?
It's going to be the lowest number address.
Okay.
So if it's 5152, it's 51.
Okay.
Okay. So you plug your USB stick in there. There's a little red button on the board next to the port. Hold it in for about 10 or 15 seconds. It'll the little display will start to reboot. Keep holding it in. Wait until it says USB. You have to wait for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because the guys will let go too soon, and all that does is reset the board and it starts it up
And you got
again.
to store over again.
Yeah. So wait till it says USB. Let go of the red button. Give it a second. Push it one more time momentarily. Then it starts counting. 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 99. It takes about 5 minutes.
Is that how long it takes?
Yeah, about 5 minutes. And then it will say, what does it say? End? I think it says
It
end.
says end.
Yeah. Then you're done. You can pull the flash drive out, push that button in for another 3 or 4 seconds, board reboots, turn the system back on, and you've got the file on that USB stick.
And that's assuming that everything will work out. Are there any errors that may happen in between?
You could. If you put too large of a USB stick in there,
Okay.
I think 8 gig might be the max, maybe only 4. These are older USB standards, so you put a really big flash drive in there, it's not going to like it. So
So you want to
could
keep
say-
it between 5 and 8? Or
Yeah.
8 being the maximum?
I think 8's the biggest
Okay.
I've tried, and it seems to work fine.
Okay.
So, and if there's a problem, it'll say like ERR4, ERR1,
Okay.
something like that. Just try again. Or it could be the way the flash drive is formatted. It's hard to say.
So after end is displayed, Shawn, can you tell us what to do after that?
After end is displayed, you
Yes.
unplug the USB,
Okay.
and you can plug the USB into your PC and then retrieve the file. Okay? And the file is in a format usually called all capitals, MNT, as in short for maintenance tool, and 3 numbers, generally the lowest number. So you can pull multiple files if you've got a large site. And what happens is each recording from each OC goes up in sequence. So it'd be MNT00.MT.
Okay.
And then the next one would be 001, 002, and so forth. The thing you got to realize is that people have a tendency to change the file name like they usually can in Maintenance Tool. If they change that file name from that format, that 3 MNT, the MNT and the 3 numbers, it can be any 3 numbers, it doesn't matter. But if it doesn't say .mt, right, and have that complete MNT, 3 numbers, .mt, it will not pull in
Okay.
to the Maintenance Tool. That's
Interesting.
something you got to remember.
Interesting.
So if you want to keep track of the systems, what you can do is dump those files in. Remember the number in the system you pulled them from and the number it was in order. And then you can dump them in folders, but still leave those files with that number format. You could also put the heat pump number in it too to try to
Okay.
remember, or the
So you
condensing.
can change the file name as long as you keep that
The file
last
extension.
few,
Don't
the
mess with
extension,
that.
right?
Just the numbers.
Right.
Yeah, but you got to keep the 3 MNTs at the front and the .mt at the end in that format, or it will not import correctly. The other thing is the USB needs to be FAT32 formatted, and to
Yes.
Shawn's point, it's supposed to be under 8 gigs. I've heard of other people using 64 saying there's no problems, but I wouldn't necessarily do that.
And I won't have a problem meeting the fat requirement because, that's why I like Neapolitan.
That's why you like the ice cream. There it
Maybe you
is.
should be handing out the thumb drives.
Maybe I
They
should.
should be 3 different colors.
So, gentlemen, once I have this file and I've transferred it or copied it to my laptop, what can I expect from that file?
So you've got a lot of operating data, right? One of the things that the Mitsubishi, the City multi-units have is you got pressure recordings, you got temperature recordings of coils, air, refrigerant pipes, so subcooling numbers, superheat numbers, current, how much current compressors are pulling, DC bus voltage. There's probably 80 plus pieces of information that we're storing depending on how many indoor units are attached. Minimum of probably 80 different pieces, and that will be updated every 1 minute in our system.
Okay.
So every 1 minute we're monitoring and we're recording all that data, and it's just sitting there waiting for somebody to use that data, and where we're going to have the best opportunity to use that data is really in troubleshooting. So if we've had an issue with the unit, man, that data
You
is
can
golden
actually go
for
back
us,
and see
right?
it.
We can grab that data, we can look at what's going on, backtrack that thing. It could go as much as a month worth of storage at least on that thing, depending on how many systems are in there. So there's a ton of data.
Okay. So when we grab this file from the USB drive on the board, this is mainly history, correct?
Yep.
This is back on the
That's
history of the
big-
equipment.
That's the biggest advantage that we have with it now is in years past, when something would go wrong, service guy'd go out there, he'd hook up his computer, running maintenance tool, get the system going in and see what he can find. Now you've got a recording of what happened when it errored out.
Previously.
You can pull that out and say, oh, what happened when this, had a problem?
Awesome. And I think one of the best things that was done to maintenance tool was change the graphing to a spreadsheet. As far as I'm concerned, that's easier for me to read than a graph, especially with tight axis on the ratings. So, Shawn, what else can I be looking to on this file?
Well, so one of the challenges we've had is the unit comes defaulted. There's two function settings in the outdoor unit. One is 817, and it's defaulted in the off position. And it's counterintuitive, but the 817 should be left off. If it's turned on, it will stop the recording.
Yeah.
The other thing that happens naturally is that the unit will stop if 818 is off and it's in that default position. So it comes out of the box with 818 off. The default position for 818 off means that it stops recording data after the first error.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So what often happens is you go to collect the USB data and it's old and it stopped recording after the first error to prevent the overwrite. But what we normally want to see is the most current data because someone shows up because the problem just happened. It doesn't take 3 weeks to a month later. In order to ensure that we have the most current data, it's important to go ahead and turn 818 on at the startup. That way you know if you come back, you get the most current recording, and it's not old data.
Because that first error could have happened on the day of startup. If you've got an addressing error, you've got something wrong with it, you fixed it, it's up and running. That was 3 years ago, but that thing hasn't been recording that whole time because nobody knows about this function setting.
So I know maintenance tool is a 1-minute snapshot of when you're using it is forward information, operational information. So how far back does this file go when you're downloading that file from the circuit board?
I think it depends on how large your system is. There's a finite amount of memory.
Okay.
I'm not sure they really define that, but maybe Dwain knows. But I've seen them pull up to a month, maybe a little more worth of data.
Okay. So it's not years.
Like Dwain said, it was about how much connected systems and components there are. That's so much data. So it can only store about what the factory called 50 megs. But if you have a large refrigeration system, it's a shorter amount of time. So if you have a small... Did I not?
No,
Okay.
you're right.
All right. I'm good.
All right. So, Dwain, do you have anything to add to that?
One of the nice things, as Shawn alluded to, if you have an error and that stops that recording, one of the ways that you'll know that, I mean, if you hooked up maintenance tool with your laptop, now the newer firmwares on that will show you the status of that recording on that maintenance tool screen.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it'll be a numerical value of like 3 or 5 or 6. And you can just click on that status and it'll tell you what those numbers mean. So typically we see it at 3, and that's a good value. We want to see that value at 3 so we know it's recording. But if for some reason it did stop because of an error, you're going to see a 5 or a 6. I can't think of what the rest of the numbers are, but that would be an indication that it's not been recording. And then there's a reset process, as Shawn alluded to get that restarted again. So there's still value in hooking up that computer.
Absolutely.
Especially if we're trying to grab data, is the data we're going to get current? That would be a way to tell right off the get-go is hooking up maintenance tools.
So if I hear you correctly, as a technician, I could hook up maintenance tool and record for some time, but also you're recommending for me to go ahead and take that file through the USB drive as comparison because I could use it to compare to the new file, correct?
So something to keep in mind, Juan, is that when you have the converter box recording through the MNet,
okay,
or you're also recording through, say, the central controller, if you have a Diamond Systems control set up to pull data, it will not record on the USB. That's just too much traffic.
Good.
So,
Okay.
so any recording you do, if you do your 2-hour startup, often you won't see that on the USB because most likely the tech or the DSG was recording data directly to their computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's only recording the data on the circuit board as long as we're not recording it on the laptop. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good to know. See, that's good to know because then whatever data is being recorded by the control board on the engine is not it's not recording it when I have maintenance tool connected to it.
But you are recording it on that laptop that is
Correct.
connected. So you,
Right.
you
Yeah.
have it.
Right.
You're just saving it a different direction.
Wow.
Just if you were to go back in history, there might be a gap. It's like, well, I was there for 4 hours. Where'd that 4 hours go? I already saved it. Or
Yeah.
if you didn't save it, it's gone.
Somebody might have saved it.
Yeah, somebody.
Right. Yeah. Good luck finding who that would be. So, yeah, I mean, this is great because I was thinking whenever I would upload that file to a flash drive, I was thinking of like a unit that may have been 5 years old. I thought I was getting 5 years of information. So, I mean, I'm wrong.
We'd need a lot bigger circuit boards.
Okay, and that's good to know. So the limit on the circuit board is what limits the size of the file
Well, whatever RAM chips or whatever memory storage they put in there
on the circuit board.
Yeah, it's not RAM; it's something else. It's still there if the power goes out. But
Yeah, the
there's only so much of it.
non-volatile ROM or something, RAM, something like that.
It's for
RAM,
it's for the computer guys to figure out.
scam, whatever. Well, good. Anything else you guys want to add about that USB port that we should do or shouldn't do?
Well, it's really it's the information, right? It's getting information out. And really, I think the benefit of what we're talking about here is saying, hey, these NGN products have got a lot of technology built into them. There's so much of an advantage. And then the technology that's there, many people don't read the manuals on these units to know about that technology, right? So what we're talking about here is crucial for troubleshooting these systems.
Absolutely.
It's made it so much easier that in the olden days, if we kind of step back in time a little bit, prior generations, you had to leave a computer hooked up to these units to record data. So
and
that's
hope you
not been
catch the
friendly.
problem.
Yeah, and hope you caught it is right.
Yep.
Awesome. So you've recorded this data on the flash drive, you put it on your laptop, you upload it to your laptop, and now you've got a file that you can look through in case for history as far as
well,
fault
there is one
concerned.
step. Once you get it on your computer, you have to import it into maintenance tool.
tool. Okay.
And it's a function of maintenance tool.
Shawn, can you just walk us through that?
Yeah, you just start maintenance tool in offline analyze mode,
Okay.
and then there's a little button down at the bottom that says import. You go find that file either directly off the USB or off your hard drive if you moved it over, and just hit import, and it will bring it in. Now, if it's a large file, it can take 10, 20 minutes. Depends on how much
Oh,
data is
wow.
there.
Okay. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, so don't freak out if it just doesn't automatically
Takes a
happen.
while.
There's a progress bar.
Okay. So you can open the file just from the desktop. You've got to import it into maintenance tool.
Into maintenance tool, yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Remember, if it says fail to import, the name on the file format probably changed.
Changed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good word.
So you got to protect the file
Yeah.
in some manner.
It's just like maintenance tool in general, too. You know, there's many times where we really don't cut and paste things in maintenance tool, right? You're going to use export functions and you're going to use import functions on that. When you use that tool, very crucial. Just trying to cut and paste something really is a problem with that program, and you can corrupt files and see that a lot where guys have tried to do that. So you really want to use that import and export function when you're bringing files in or taking them out of that program.
And that's something you can do also. You can export it to your desktop and then email it to someone that you want, like a second set of eyes, to look at the data to help you troubleshoot the problem.
Yeah, and that's where you hit a home run right there, Juan, is when we have problems with the product, and if you call the Mitsubishi 800 number or you call your distributor for technical support, that is a valuable resource, right? You can now say, hey, Mr. Contractor, we need to see what you got going there to really help you. And now when they give us that file or they forward that file, very good eyes on what's happening with that and really much more relative to really what's going on that system. So
Awesome.
it's big part of technical support, right? To assist the contractors, assist ESGs. What a tool.
Awesome, and I appreciate. I mean, every time I'm a technical instructor, so every time I have a class, I tell them, getting through it's maybe a task, but once you get through, you've got access to the best tech support there is in the nation. So, all right, gentlemen, it's been good. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, not a whole lot.
Shawn?
Yeah.
Tauss?
No, I'm at a loss for words.
Okay.
Well, I'm still thinking of
I
ice
don't
cream
believe
myself.
that.
I'm sorry, but dessert first coming up here.
Okay, that's one more thing I want to ask. So the single taste of ice cream. So, Shawn, you said vanilla?
Oh, no. Mine's cherry chocolate chip.
Okay, that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So what's yours, Dwain?
I said vanilla.
You said vanilla.
Yeah, but I could put a little sauce on it. You
Okay.
know?
Sauce meaning
Well,
salsa?
Yeah. No.
I had to throw that one in.
Man. Yeah, a little bacon grease, on the.
Okay.
They do that-
really.
They do that in Portland.
Yeah.
Do they really?
They put all sorts of stuff in their ice cream.
Shawn
Cracker
Tauss?
Jacks, rosemary. My favorite flavor is Rocky Road.
Okay.
That's it.
Mine is coconut. And that's pretty much it. I love coconut.
Coconut.
So,
Put anything on it?
Yes.
Okay, now you're talking.
Syrup. All right, gentlemen, thank
right.
you for everything.